Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou has come out and said we are a better prepared squad this year. The aim is success and trophies. Reports in Argentina are stating that Celso is not part of Postecoglou's plans. Spurs want to sell him in the next couple of weeks. No loans, they just want a sell. Pundits have been talking about Spurs signing Dominic Solanke. Souness has come out and said signing Solanke is a gamble. Danny Murphy has come out and said it is a lot of money for someone who has only proven himself 1 year in the Premier League. Reports in Italy are stating that Spurs are interested in Locatelli. It will be a dream deal for both clubs as Spurs want a top player and Juventus need the money. And reports in Spain are stating that Flick has given the green light for Barcelona to sign Spurs left-back Sergio Reguilon.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about some comments from Ange Postecoglou. He did a YouTube interview recently with Men in Blazers. This is what he had to say about his current squad and the season ahead. We are a better prepared squad this season than last year. We have grown a lot from last year, understanding about ourselves. When we were good, we were exciting. I think we had everyone talking about us. When we had to grind, we found a way to get there. But there was obviously a space in there when we didn't cope well with disruptions, which I think is only natural because when things are going well, it's a lot easier to stay on board with something. We had some disruptions in terms of injuries, in terms of suspensions, some lack of discipline there for sure, which happens with young players. We didn't cope well with that, but we learned a lot through it. Ange Postecoglou also spoke about what the team and squad can achieve this coming season. And he said, when you walk around this place, to dare is to do is everywhere. I think that is the reference point, not only for our mindset, but for our actions. And for us, that means playing our game a certain way. So that's what I want to do. And if we manage to do that, there is no limit to what we can achieve. I came here to bring success to the club. Success means trophies, and that has to be our aim. Reports have just been published in Argentina and they are stating that Aston Villa and Real Betis are working on a deal to sign Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso. Of course, Lo Celso was left out of Ange Postecoglou's squad that faced Bayern Munich in our last pre-season friendly before the Premier League season starts. Of course, we lost 3-2 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday, but the Spurs midfielder was not included, and the reports in Argentina are stating that Spurs want to sell the player. They are not interested in another loan move for the Argentina international. They want to sell him as he is not part of Ange Postecoglou's plans for the upcoming season. Now, of course, it was confirmed on Saturday that Tottenham Hotspur have signed Dominic Solanke from Bournemouth in a deal worth £65 million. He has signed the contract at the club until 2030. Now, a couple of pundits have come out and give their opinions on the signing of Dominic Solanke. Former Spurs midfielder Danny Murphy, now of course on TalkSport, he has stated, I hope that he does really well, but I think it is a lot of money to risk on someone who has only proven himself for one season, but I hope he does really well. Danny Murphy then went on to say he has had some bad spells, he has had some disappointments after Liverpool and Chelsea, he has been at big clubs and he has failed. I hope he continues it, and if he stays fit and healthy in that Tottenham side, he will get chances. I think he will score 15 goals. Graham Souness has also given his opinion on the signing of Dominic Solanke. He said it is hell of a lot of money for him. I think £65 million. He played 112 games and got 28 goals. Was it 19 last year? He is not consistently scoring goals in the Premier League. I think it is a bit of a gamble. Now, quite a few outlets have run this story. This one is from Team Talk, and they are stating that Tottenham Hotspur are eyeing Dream Serie A signing as bid has been drawn up. Tottenham Hotspur have prepared an offer as they look to strike a dream deal for Italy star Manuel Locatelli, according to reports in Italy, while a second player's new contract has also been confirmed by the North London side. Tottenham have been busy in the summer transfer window, signing 3 new players and offloading a lot of deadwood from the squad. And Postecoglou's side quickly opted to extend Timo Werner's loan from RB Leipzig and then brought in English startlet Archie Gray from Leeds United. They're followed up on those captures by landing striker Dominic Solanke in a £65 million deal, while Lucas Bergval's move to Tottenham has also gone through after it was initially agreed in February. Eric Dyer, Javat Tanganga, Tongion Ndombele and Joe Rodon are just some of the unwanted players who have been axed by Tottenham. Postecoglou is also on the hunt for a new central midfielder, with Giovanni Lo Celso likely to follow on Ndombele and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg out of the club. According to the latest reports in Italy, Spurs could move on from the disappointment surrounding not signing Conor Gallagher by moving for Juventus star Locatelli instead. The 26-year-old has previously been linked with Arsenal, but is now on the North London rivals Spurs list, who is now aiming to bring him to England. The prospective transfer is described as a dream, one for both Spurs and Juventus. Not only would it be bolstering Tottenham's squad with a top midfielder addition, but it would also give Juventus crucial extra transfer funds. Reports in Italy are claiming that Spurs are ready to offer €24 million, which is the equivalent of £20.5 million, plus add-ons for Locatelli. It remains to be seen whether Juventus will accept this, though, as the star's contract runs until June 2028, and he has previously been valued at more than £40 million. The report from Team Talk then states that Locatelli would be a good signing for Spurs, as he can operate as a number 6 or a number 8 and would bring a winning mentality to Postecoglou's squad. The former Milan player helped Italy win Euro 2020 and has also lifted the Italian Cup and Italian Super Cup since making his senior debut in April 2016. Meanwhile, Spurs have announced that Academy star Mikey Moore has penned his first professional contract with the club, ending speculation about a move away. Another report from Team Talk. This time they are talking about Sergio Reguilon, and they are stating another Spurs star who could be on the move is left-back Sergio Reguilon. The 27-year-old Spaniard is surplus to requirements following loan spells at Manchester United and Brentford last season. Reguilon is now in his final year of his Spurs deal, and with no new contract expected, Spurs hope to cash in while they can. They have also stated that Sky Sports have confirmed that Barcelona had identified Reguilon as a viable option to bolster their left-back ranks. A fresh update from Spanish outlet Sport has revealed that Barcelona boss Hansi Flick has given the green light to move for Reguilon. It has just been stated by Sport in Spain that a permanent deal for a nominal fee is being discussed. The idea of Spurs recouping a tiny fee for a player that signed for a reported £32 million, including add-ons, won't harm hearts in North London. But given Reguilon's contract situation and the fact he's unfancied by Postecoglou, any fee is better than losing Reguilon as a free agent at the end of the season. And Team Talk have also stated furthermore, a sale now for Sergio Reguilon to any club would allow Tottenham to shift the player's salary off their books 1 year ahead of time. Now, the Tottenham Hotspur under-21s start their Premier League 2 campaign this coming Friday. We will face Chelsea away at Kings Meadow. The game will kick off at 7 p.m. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about Ange Postecoglou's comments about being a better prepared squad. He may feel better prepared, and I think with the amount of outgoings and the few incomings so far, I still feel like Spurs have got a lot to do in this transfer window because we are having a number of players going out the door, and I'm going to name 2 that had quite an impact on our season. Were quite heavily criticised last season by Spurs fans and pundits, etc. but they did have an important role, and that being Emerson Royal and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Are we going to replace those players, or are the players going to step up and try and put in a little bit more of a shift and try and prove themselves to Postecoglou that little bit more and grab their opportunities and chances? But I think when you think about last season, Postecoglou used Pierre-Emile Højbjerg hell of a lot. He used Emerson Royal hell of a lot. Postecoglou used Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to shore up the defensive side of our game on so many occasions last year. Didn't start in many, but when he came on as a sub, he did a job, and a very, very good one. And Emerson Royal, of course, was used alongside the whole of the back four, left back, right back, and in the centre as well. Of course, he played in the centre against Manchester City away. He did a great job on that day. So are Spurs going to be signing any more players to replace these players that are leaving? Because it is now being reported that Celso is not part of Postecoglou's plans for this coming season. And Reguilon, it looks like he's going to go out the door as well. I tell you what, big praise to Spurs this summer, because we have offloaded a number of players who Ange Postecoglou clearly doesn't fancy. He's clearly not going to ever give opportunities to. Celso, it's funny because when I speak to a lot of Spurs fans, half of them say just get rid of him, and half of them say there's hell of a player in there. I agree with both. I think there is hell of a player in there. It's just a shame that we haven't seen it as Spurs fans. I think we have seen glimpses. We've certainly seen Celso, play extremely well for Argentina. He just hasn't done that on a consistent basis at Tottenham. He's had so many injury problems as well. Sometimes players are just unlucky with injuries, and I think he is one of those players that has just been really unlucky with injuries. He's played under multiple different managers. We've given him a couple of loan spells as well. But I think that now is probably the right time to cash in on Lo Celso, so Ange can go and spend that money elsewhere on a player that he does really fancy, is going to give game time to. Because let's face it, last season, I think it's probably fair to say last season was probably Lo Celso's best season in a Spurs shirt, and we didn't see him that much. Probably, if and when Lo Celso does leave the football club, I'm going to probably be on one of these videos or podcasts saying, yeah, probably my highlight of Lo Celso's Tottenham career was actually when he scored at the Etihad during 2023-2024 campaign. Great goal, put a real shift in, and there were some good moments last season from Lo Celso. But it's just a shame that he just cannot get that consistent run of games and that consistent run of form in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. Reguilon, is very, very clear that Ange Postecoglou just does not fancy Reguilon in this team at all. Went out on a couple of loan spells to Manchester United and Brentford last season. Doesn't fancy him again. Spurs, of course, put out the announcement or the statement a couple of weeks ago before the squad flew to Japan and South Korea, stating that him and Brian Hill were going to be looking for clubs. I tell you what a move it would be for Reguilon, signing for Barcelona. Signing for Barcelona after not playing for Spurs for all this time would be, one hell of a move. Spurs apparently are in for Locatelli. I tell you what, we're going to probably be linked with so many players, probably hundreds of players from now until the end of the transfer window, because of course there is just over a couple of weeks left of the transfer window. Less than a week now until we face Leicester in the Premier League. Are Spurs going to bring in any more players before we face Leicester on Monday evening in our first game in the Premier League? It's going to be an interesting time. The pundits coming out talking about Dominic Solanke, Souness, it's a gamble. Danny Murphy, it's hell of a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And of course, any transfer is a gamble, isn't it? Any transfer is a gamble. But when you look at what he did in that Bournemouth side, a mid-table side, 19 goals in 38 Premier League games, I tell you what, I think there would be a lot of top six clubs hoping that their striker would score 19 Premier League goals in 38 Premier League games. So that was a really good return. And when I've spoken about Dominic Solanke before, it's no secret he certainly wouldn't be my number one choice, but I really hope it works out for him. And when, the more videos I watch of him and the more goals that I've seen him score, certainly last year, he's a very, very confident player. The pressing, the work rate, works extremely hard for the team. And that's exactly what Ange Postecoglou requires. And it's all about what the manager wants. It's not about what we want. It's about what the manager feels that he's going to fit in, best to his system, and what's going to work best for us to be successful. Ange Postecoglou has spoken out about, the aim is success. Of course it is. The aim is trophies. Of course it is. We haven't won a trophy now since 2008. That is far, far too long. Of course, if we do put a trophy in the cabinet this coming season, it'll be 2025. It will be, 17 years since Spurs have won a trophy. That is that is a ridiculous stat. It's so long. And, when you think about the quality of players and the managers that we have had in those 17 years, for Spurs not to have won anything is just unreal. I really want to see Spurs win a trophy, and very, very soon. Hopefully, Ange Postecoglou is the man to deliver that. Hopefully, we will sign a couple more players in this transfer window to improve the squad, to improve the squad depth, because that is something I do worry about, the depth, because if we were suddenly to get a couple of injuries to key players, exactly like last season, it could derail our season, and it could have a terrible effect on, what is next and next season, because of course we are playing in the Europa League as well. Hopefully we'll have more games in the FA Cup. Hopefully we'll have more games in the League Cup, and we need that depth. We need that stability, and hopefully there is something to look forward to next year. Hopefully Ange Postecoglou can take Tottenham Hotspur to that next level. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Stay safe and well. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.